Our goal today is to catch that special spirit of Lewis and Clark.
It was a reason that Lewis and Clark eventually came to recognize.
The place where Lewis and Clark overwintered. Oh, it helps us to learn about the Corps of Discovery traveling down the Clearwater River, down the Snake, down the Columbia, seeing all that. And we're able to say after this cruise that, yes, we know all of these things better because of it.
We're going to start our voyage here in the city of Portland, Oregon. Portland is an important city because it's actually a deep water port city. And so even though it's over 100 miles from the coast, from the Pacific Ocean, there's a lot of ships that come in. So it's a major destination for all types of river traffic as well as ocean-going traffic.
This great river of the West, the Columbia, which was also known out of the mists of time as the Oregon, is the very heart of the industries in the Pacific Northwest, and it was the rivers, dams that came in under Franklin Delano Roosevelt in the Great Depression in the 1930s, which turned the economy around, put this region into the forefront as a new great industrial agricultural area.
One of the reasons that the Dalles is so important, and it was a reason that Lewis and Clark eventually came to recognize, was that it was a regional trade center for the natives who were living not just in the general area of the Dalles, but for 1,000 miles around the Dalles. The stock in trade of the locals here at the Dalles, of course, was the salmon, and then packing in these portable bear grass baskets that they would line with salmon skins, put the fish meal in, bring the tails of the salmon back up over the fish meal, and then sew the baskets shut. So if you were coming from a different part of the country, you would bring something to trade, like fancy leather clothing, quill work. You might bring dried bison meat, or you might even bring horses to trade for one of these, or well, several of these 90-pound bundles of good, sweet salmon.
Okay, it's a beautiful day here on the Snake River. Hell's Canyon is about 1,100 miles long. Starts in Grand Tetons near Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Probably the most interesting thing about Hell's Canyon, it is the actual deepest river gorge in North America.
The mouth of the Palouse River, but the mouth of the Palouse River is much higher than when Lewis and Clark came through here. It was a really small river. It is a really small river. So this is all backed up behind the Lower Monumental Dam. Yeah, this is such a great look at the different flows. In this area, there are 4 different flows that you can actually see.
This morning we're here at Palouse Falls State Park, one of the many state parks in the state of Washington. The Brett's floods, or Spokane floods, or Missoula floods, they have many different names, these glacial water floods that came down and carved out this huge canyon. It didn't happen in many other parts of the Pacific Northwest. So we got a chance to see the lower part of the Zodiacs, and now we're enjoying these great views of Palouse Falls up here at the park.
We're here a little ways south from the mouth of the Columbia River at the place where Lewis and Clark overwintered. They called it Fort Clatsop. Fort Clatsop was a wet and dreary place for them that winter, but it really saved their lives because this was the one place they could get out of the rain and get a little bit dry. And most of all, Clark had an opportunity to finish his maps, and the maps were an important part of this journey west.
We've been hovering off the tip of Cape Disappointment, right at the mouth of the Columbia. We've been thinking about Lewis and Clark in their last weeks along the north shore of the estuary here, which were pretty miserable. A lot of rain fell on them for a long time. They got stranded in storm-bound camps and so forth. but they finally had a chance to stroll out to the beaches of the Pacific for a 3-day jaunt and celebrate their transcontinental triumph. And I got to think that after a whole year and a half of having their minds fixed on that purpose, they must have felt great satisfaction showing up on that beach out there.